Tuesday, my friends, and that means one thing and one thing only here at Prime Sports World. We got to break down Monday Night Football, and we got to dive into week number 16 of the National Football League. Thank you very much for joining us here at Prime Sports World. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point Hub. I'm joined from the Daily Blitz Stop blog, the one and only Mr. Christian Simpson. A happy belated birthday to Mr. Christian Simpson as well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Gave him some love there on the group chat, but give him some love here on the podcast. But yeah, we're Prime Sports World. We're going to get into some Monday Night Football. We're going to talk about week number 16. Christian, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you got a bit of an echo, but I can hear you fine.
Okay.
It sounds like you're talking like down a hallway or something. But
really?
It should be okay.
Okay.
Let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. We had another snooze fest of a Monday Night Football game. This has been like 3 weeks in a row, but the Monday Night Football game has just been an absolute dud. Dolphins, Steelers, 28-15, and don't let that final score fool you. This game was not that close. Dolphins scored 12 points in the final frame to make this somewhat respectable, but this game was an absolute Miami Dolphins got dog walked from beginning to end by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Aaron Rodgers had one of his best games as a pro, and his best game in a long, long time. Tua Tagovailoa, it wasn't bad in this game. He just wasn't all that good either. 22 of 28 for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns and a pick. Devon Achane, 12 of 60. He also led the team in receiving yards. Darren the Wall Waller had 2 touchdowns in the receiving game, both of them basically in garbage time in the final 5 minutes of this game. Aaron Rodgers was an absolute clinic by the Aaron Rodgers in this offense in total. 23 of 27, 224 yards and 2 tutties. They had a really good day at the running the football. 32 carries for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. One with Juju Smith and one with Connor Hayward. And DK Metcalf and MVS had the receiving touchdowns for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is basically a wire-to-wire victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another kind of a snoozing game on Monday Night Football. If we can't seem to get competitive ones, and I'm not so sure it's going to get better this weekend either.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it right there. They got back to Steeler football. They got back to running the ball. You know, it's about time maybe they can get a jump started. I'm not saying they'll necessarily go on a run come playoff time, but look, you can run the football, especially when it's cold. You know, that wears down a defensive front. You control the line of scrimmage. You're violent up front in the trenches. And, yeah, like, to me, this is one of the more complete games the Steelers played. You know, and the fact they did it without T.J. Watt, you know, really is even more. And he's their best player.
And, yeah, on the Dolphins side, I mean, this has got to be super – I mean, you don't have their best player. You're really unable to get anything going on offense for the entire game. It's just not a good look on the fact that the Miami Dolphins just – you know, you don't score a touchdown until the game was already the decision was already made. The game was over at that point. There's some rumors around that Mike McDaniel is talking about eventually benching Tua. I'm not sure what that does for this team or what that does for this franchise. Both of them are cooked as soon as the season is over, I imagine, along with the GM. I just think there's going to be a complete overhaul of this Miami Dolphins team when the season is over. I think the only thing you're going to keep is probably like Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane. I think you'll be looking at a new quarterback. You look at a new head coach. You look at a new GM. There will be a complete roster shakeup after this season for Miami.
To be honest, I trade Jalen. Yeah, and here's the reason why. He still has value. You know, you don't want to wait 5 or 10 years down the stretch. He's out his prime. You know, I know he's probably on the outside of his prime right now, but see what you can get back for him.
I mean, he's only like 25, 26. He's technically hasn't even hit his prime.
No, he hasn't. But again, I trade him to see what I could get for him at this particular moment. You know, kind of similar to what the Giants did all those years ago with Odell Beckham. Yeah, I mean, they've gone down the garbage disposal, you know, to put it. David, am I still echoing, by the way?
Yeah, you sound better now.
Okay, cool.
Jalen Waddle is 27. He just celebrated his 27th birthday in November last month. So happy belated birthday out there to Jalen Waddle. But he's literally just entering his prime. Like he should have a peak of another 5 or 6 years where he's only going to get better as a football player. And yeah, I mean, Devon Achane is the only piece I think they really have to build around when it comes to this. I just don't know what you do there.
Right.
For Miami. It's kind of like one of those bad scenarios. It's one of the bad situations in the NFL for real.
Yeah, and he's so talented. I think he's one of the more underrated backs we have.
Me too.
I love what he did in college, and he's playing with that same energy he did at Texas A&M for the Miami Dolphins. And I think they're a better offense when he's being a little more incorporated. When the Dolphins are healthy, when they got Tyreek on one side and they got Jalen Waddle on another, they want to throw the ball, right? They command a lot of attention on that perimeter. Now, this teams don't really load the box when they play the Dolphins, David.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's just a kind of a clunker of a Monday Night Football game. Before we move into week number 16, let's talk about week 16 as a whole. Week 15, sorry. Christian, you got some game balls to give out? I got one.
I think I know who you're giving yours to.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you don't.
Nah, I think I have a feeling, but I'm giving mine to Bo Nix. I know I've been hard on this kid.
God bless Bo Nix.
Look, this is the best I've seen him look on a professional football field ever. 23 of 34, 302 yards passing. He threw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Along with that defense, the weapons they have on offense, and the way they're coached, they're going to be tough come playoff time, especially if Bo plays like that. He, to me, is the caveat in this whole thing. When you get good Bo, good things happen.
Talking about getting a good version of this player and good things happen, I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence.
Yep, see? I knew it.
20 of 32 with 330 yards, and he was responsible for 6 touchdowns on Sunday as they dog walked the New York Jets from beginning to end of that game. And Trevor Lawrence is playing his best football at the best time. I mean, Jacksonville is surging. They're 10-4. That game that they're going, was it the Broncos this weekend? They should have flexed that game to Sunday Night Football instead of the Ravens Patriots, but that's neither here nor there. Trevor Lawrence has been on an absolute tear last couple weeks. He's been really efficient with the football, and this is kind of like what Trevor Lawrence we thought we were going to see when he came out of college. Like, hey, it took a real long time to get there. I also got to give it to Josh Allen. Man, that dude just went into the phone booth again and just was like, yeah. They're down 21-0 at halftime or near halftime, and they come back and win that game in pretty convincing fashion. It's a huge win for Buffalo.
Yeah, it definitely was. We'll talk about them when we get to the picks, David.
Yeah. Moving on into week number 16, let's start with a fun one on Thursday night. And the Thursday night games have been sneaky good so far this season. We got the Rams and the Seahawks going head-to-head. Both of these teams sit at 11-3. The Rams have clinched the playoff spot. The Seahawks have not. I'm not sure why exactly, but both these teams will be in the NFC playoffs. It's somewhere, either as the 1 or the 2 seed or as the wild card team. This is a big-time game as the Rams won the first match between these two teams. Seahawks, hopefully, home cooking, can get the advantage here. And Christian, I think I know what's coming.
David, first one out the gate, baby. I was excited for this. Let's go. Let's go. And we don't have a hater tonight to get in the way. You ready? On my count.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 1, baby.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I just, I like the way the Rams operate as a team. They have a strong offensive line. It was never about necessarily trying to replace Cooper Kupp. They already had the guy in Puka Nacua. Devontae Adams. Can you check to see if he's going to play in this game? Because I know he got a little
he's dealing with
hobble.
A hamstring. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. It's on. Hold on. Let me just look it up for you. He hasn't been ruled out, but he hasn't practiced yet. So I think it's going to be as close to a game time decision as possible.
Which the Rams could use to their full advantage, just due to the simple fact you don't know how to game plan now. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got to put emphasis on Devontae Adams. I think he's still an effective player. I know he's a little older now, but I still think he's a top 5 wide receiver. The Rams run the football. Stafford is doing what Stafford is doing. And defensively, this is as complete of a unit as it gets.
CBS is reporting that he's unlikely to play on Thursday, but the Rams have not completely closed that door.
Okay. So. Then you look at Seattle. Seattle, I don't think they scored a touchdown in that game.
No, Jason's Jason Myers kicked six field goals in that game.
Yeah,
won the
6
game over
field
the Colts.
goals. You're not going to be able to do that playing the Rams. Like when you're in the red zone, you got to be able to come away with points. You're not going to beat this team kicking field goals. Plain and simple. I preview this one an hour before kickoff on Thursday. Mr. David on point. Be on the lookout.
You can find that on the dailyblitz.blog. Swinging into my prediction. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those marquee matchups. I mean, this is going to go a long way to deciding who's the number one seed in the AFC, in the NFC, who's going to win the NFC West, who's going to have to go on the road in the first week of the playoffs, actually for the entire playoff run. This is a huge game. I'm going to go with the Rams. I mean, Seattle, they just haven't been as good on offense over the last couple of weeks. Like they really thought that they were going to start to click after that impressive performance against the Atlanta Falcons. And they come out against the Colts, no Sauce Gardner, and they kind of just were just meh on offense in that game. And Colts don't exactly have a juggernaut of a defense. Seattle should have been able to put up at least a touchdown in that game. They just weren't able to. And Sam Darnold, quietly, 4 of his last 5 games so far to kind of wind down the end of the season have been just kind of not good. They've won, but it really hasn't been because of the play of Sam Darnold. It's kind of been because of how good this defense is for Seattle.
This is the best defense I've seen from Seattle since their LOB days. You know, look, we talk about Houston and how great they've been, and rightfully so. We talk about who else has been good on Denver. You know, they've been good
Packers
this year. The Packers and all that. Look, see the Rams.
The Rams are a slouch in their own right.
To me, these are 2 of the top 5 defenses we're going to see in this game on Thursday, David. And look, I already see it right now. You and I are going to be talking during this game quite a bit. Like we always seem to send messages to each other during these games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Seattle is 4th in sacks. They're 4th in yards allowed. They're a little bit better on the Rams when it comes to offense. But I'm going to go with the Rams. The Seattle defense, the Seattle offense on the other side. I mean, JSN was on that crazy tear. Now he's kind of cooled off a little bit. This offense hasn't been as good over the last month or so. Maybe people are starting to figure out the Sam Darnold. It's exactly what happened last season, really, with Sam Darnold. Like he was really good for the majority of the season, and down the stretch, kind of fizzled a little bit. People started to figure out, the Sam Darnold puzzle. I don't want to say that's happened so far this season because he's still been okay, but he hasn't been like how he was at the beginning of the season, putting up crazy numbers. I'll take the Rams, but I wouldn't be shocked even a little bit if the Seattle Seahawks came out and won this game because it is in Seattle. But I'm still going to stick with my gut. I'm going to go with the Rams. And we start Saturday weekend football starting this weekend. That's super fun if you're, enjoy Saturday football as the college football season is basically remotely over outside of the big games there. Saturday's free now for the National Football League. And we start with 2 division matchups. The first one, it was going to be a rematch of the NFC title game, the first of 2 matchups for the Eagles and the Commanders going down the stretch here. But a little bit of the moxie, a little bit of the luster off this matchup's kind of fallen off, given that the Philadelphia Eagles are kind of crawling into this matchup. I know they just beat Las Vegas, but it's the Raiders. They lost 3 of their games before that. The Commanders are a mess this season. The injuries have really derailed what started as a very promising season. Jaden Daniels has been shut down for the remainder of the season. Christian, who do you like, Eagles, Commanders?
I like the Eagles. I think they get it going. I think they'll establish Saquon. I think this will probably be the Eagles' most balanced attack. A lot of A.J. Brown, a lot of Devontae Adams, but I think the most important piece to this offense is the big guy over the middle, and that's Dallas Goedert. Their defense. This is another defense we forgot. This Philly defense is also pretty good as well. The Commanders, what was supposed to be a season with some high expectations, it's been anything but. And like right now at this point, they're just playing for pride. And when you saw this matchup on the schedule, you were like, oh man, both these teams, this could be for first place supremacy in the NFC East, but it's anything but. I definitely like Philly in this one.
Yeah, I'm also going to agree with you. I'm rolling with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to see a very similar game plan to what they used against the Las Vegas Raiders. Big old chunk of Saquon Barkley, and I think Jalen Hurts will be asked just to do just enough to win on the offensive side to win the game. This should be an easy victory for the Philadelphia Eagles. To the game that has must-see television written all over it. Going to probably have Tom Brady in the booth It's all in Packers, Bears, in Soldiers Field. Not going to be as cold as it was this weekend against the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be a very toasty, very warm 37 degrees in Chicago when the Green Bay Packers show up to take on the Chicago Bears. And I'm sure I know what's coming here, Christian, but I'm just going to give you some analysis here. It's unfortunate that Micah Parsons is going to be lost for the season for the Green Bay Packers. They were on track to have a really promising season. They just fell to the Denver Broncos. The Bears obviously got back into the winning ways, going up against the Cleveland Browns and utterly dismantling that team on Sunday afternoon. The Packers obviously fell to the 11 wins in a row. Denver Broncos. This is going to sound like a big-time homer pickup, but I'm going to take the Chicago Bears. I think they're going to run the football really effectively against the Green Bay Packers. I think Caleb Williams will do just enough to win the game. The Packers losing Micah Parsons, I think that's a big loss. I think their pass rush is going to struggle without him out there. Give me the Bears. And Christian, let's do it.
David, let's do it. Ready?
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 2, baby.
Yeah, when these two played the last time, man, that play call still angers me. The one where Caleb Williams threw the interception. It's 4th and short. Why be cute? Run the football. Running the football got you into the red zone, if we're being realistic. But yeah, this injury of Micah Parsons, it's tough, when your heart goes out to him because he truly loves the game of football, and he was that Energizer Bunny for this Green Bay defense. It's just, isn't it something, David, how one guy can come in and just give everybody that jolt of energy? That's exactly what he was. But one thing I noticed was after he went out, the Packers got home to the quarterback a little bit more, even without Micah Parsons. That's saying something. The Bears love what they did against Cleveland because they focused on the Cleveland Browns. They didn't overlook them. They didn't roll their helmets down, because when you do that 9 times out of 10, you lose. They got to run the football in this game, run the ball. That'll open up the field. And is Rome Odunze playing in this one?
He was pretty close to playing in that game against the Cleveland Browns, so I imagine he'll be back for this game. Let me bring back in TJ as well. Welcome to the show, Mr. TJ Hopkins, my co-host.
You have to bring him in.
No, Rome's not playing.
Man.
Yeah, so Rome Odunze not expected to play.
He's not playing.
Didn't practice today.
Okay.
Luther Burden also did not practice today either, so he's dealing with an ankle injury.
Yeah, look for Ben Johnson to incorporate those tight ends a little bit more. I think Colston Loveland's going to be the X factor in this game for the Bears.
TJ, talk to
me. Obviously, what Christian said, thoughts and prayers out to Micah Parsons. It's really unfortunate. You never want to see one of the premier players go down with any injury. Really, it was a bad weekend for injuries across the NFL. That being said, fan bases of both teams, Bears fans, Packer fans, please shut the fuck up. Celebrate injuries. We're both better than that, and I know it's a small portion of both fans. Those fan base, those fans don't represent the entire fan bases. There were Packer fans that were quote unquote mocking Kyler Gordon getting hurt during warm-ups again 2 weeks ago, then Rome getting hurt in warm-ups. And then you got Bears fans who say turnabout is fair play. Micah tears his ACL against Denver, and it's like both of those sections of the fan base shut the fuck up. Just be glad we got two. Just be glad both teams are actually, good. The rivalry is actually worth something now. And if you're the Bears, you should feel quote unquote disrespected that you're still the underdog in this game because your history's against you. All right, you've only beaten the Packers 3 or 4 times in the last decade. So of course you're going into this game, you're not going to be favored. Go out there, handle business, clinch the division. Oh wait, well you still need Detroit to lose. Yeah, you need to win and the Detroit loss to clinch. And I don't think that's gonna happen on Sunday. But give me the Bears.
Moving on from there, from Saturday afternoon football, Saturday evening football into Sunday morning / evening. We start first in the AFC. We got the Bills and the Browns going head to head. Browns coming off a tough loss to Chicago Bears. The Bills coming off a major victory against the New England Patriots, a game where they were down 21-0, came back and won that game. Last time these two teams played was 3 years ago. Christian, do you remember who won this game 3 years ago? November 20th, 2022.
Buffalo won it, and I remember the game being in Detroit because there was a crazy snowstorm in Orchard Park.
There was, yeah. So it was at Ford Field in Detroit. Buffalo won this game 23-31. Cleveland did make a game out of it. They scored 13 points in the final frame to try to come back. Starting quarterbacks for these teams, Jacoby Brissett. Of course, the Jacoby Brissett seasons will start somewhere every season. 28 to 41, 324 yards and 3 tutties. Josh Allen, 18 to 27, 197 yards and a touchdown as they go on to win this game. But we're taking it in 3 years later. TJ, who you got in this game 3 years later?
Obviously, you going with the Bills. Like, I also would I would try to sit Myles Garrett just because he tweaked his groin against the Bears, and I understand you chasing history, but I don't think I don't think history's gonna happen in this game because Josh Allen's just that much harder to.
But Josh Allen does hold the football a long time, so it's always like he seems to take a lot of sacks.
Like getting to Josh Allen ain't the problem. It's actually bringing Josh Allen down. That's the problem. So, I'm going with the Bills. I don't know what's going on. I mean, we know what's going on in Cleveland, Christian, but until actual change happens, then we don't. It is what it is. It should be Buffalo. Like Cleveland's basically playing for draft position at this point. So.
With that being said, yeah, Buffalo, I think they're going to ride the momentum. I hope this isn't like a trap game where they come out and just kind of ride the Browns. I think they understand
that would be catastrophic.
I do think that the Bills understand, though, that they have to win out, and this starts with Sunday. Like if they want to win the AFC, they need to win the rest of their games, and then they need to hope that New England fumbles one of these 3 games coming down the stretch here. They do have New England has a pretty tough schedule coming down the stretch here, so it could happen. I'm going with the Bills. Christian.
Yeah, this is a trap game in my opinion because teams just have that tendency of celebrating big wins going into the following week. You know, the team you're facing feels disrespected and they take it out on you. I mean, this happened to the Bills earlier in the year. Won that big game against Kansas City and then just looked like absolute garbage against the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. So again, have they learned from this? I do like Buffalo, but see, the thing that kind of pisses me off about the Buffalo Bills is they don't start quickly. That's not going to always be the case. You know what I'm saying? Because that was their best half of football they played in Foxborough on Sunday. And like it takes you a half to get it going.
They also fell to the Ravens like this opening weekend.
Yeah,
and they were the rabbit out of their freaking head.
And then they were down to Cincinnati by 10 points, if I'm not mistaken. So again, start quickly, establish James Cook, get those tight ends involved because I don't think Cleveland has an answer for Dalton Kincaid or Dawson Knox. Use Shakir over the middle. Like Josh Allen, take care of the ball, and that's game. But one thing I will say, Buffalo's defense is starting to play a lot better because they clamped down and they really adjusted in the second half against New England. But I like Buffalo, but they're gonna have to go and earn it.
Moving on from there, swinging into Jerry World, where the Dallas Cowboys will welcome in the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers fresh off eliminating the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday from the playoffs. The Cowboys fell to the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football in a game that basically didn't completely eliminate them from the playoffs, but they would need an absolute miracle in order to make the playoffs at this point. This game is in Jerry World. Cowboys, Chargers.
Eliminated.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, wait, what happened?
The Cowboys.
They're not eliminated. They're still in the hunt.
Yeah, so if the Philadelphia Eagles were to lose out and the Cowboys were to win out, they could win the NFC East. That's the only scenario where they can make the playoffs.
So they're eliminated.
I mean, I mean, without saying so, but yeah, it's going to be tough. Philadelphia's got 2 games against the Commanders. I imagine they can win one of those. But they still have a little bit of playoff hope. They still got some pride there for the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott. Last time these 2 teams played was actually 2 years ago, and the Dallas Cowboys got the advantage there, 20-17. What happens here in 2025, Christian?
I like the Chargers. I just think they're a little stronger on both sides of the ball, especially defensively. The Chargers are getting healthy at the right time. They got Omari and Hampton back. Dallas doesn't have an answer for Lad McConkey. Keenan Allen is still there.
Doesn't have an answer. Period.
Shut up. We'll get to you when we'll get to you when we get to you. Yeah, the Chargers win this one. I think they're going to turn this into a shootout. I think this could be high scoring. I don't see much defense being played in this one, but I like LA.
Justin Herbert hasn't been good since he broke his hand. Like his numbers are just like.
Well, David, I wonder why he broke his hand.
I did not think turning this into a shootout would be good for the Chargers. I think that would be a huge mistake. I think that if they want to win this game, they need to keep it low scoring. I'm going to roll with the Chargers because I think they're a better football team on paper, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Dallas came out and won this game. This seems like the kind of game, like you had the disappointing loss where a game where you're favored in to win the game. This is the game you should win. And then you come in and you welcome in the Chargers and you beat them. Like a game that you're not expecting to win. You know what? Actually, I'm actually going to take the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will win this game. I think the Chargers on offense have looked rough last 3 weeks ever since Justin Herbert broke that hand, and obviously kudos to him for toughing out, to playing it through it, but I just don't think it's gonna. I just don't think he's gonna play well again this season, and they're gonna have to ride this running game and this defense and this offensive line isn't all that good. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. TJ.
I'm taking the Chargers. Dallas just does dumb shit. Like they play stupidly. The game against the Vikings literally sums up the Cowboy season. Am I right, Christian? Like it literally sums up their season.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, you like the thing with Dallas is when they're on a high, they're on a high. But then when they struggle and they're on a low, they're down. And they really struggle. Like there's no in between with the Dallas Cowboys. They win one big game and then they lose 2 more. I mean, in this instance, you beat both Super Bowl representatives in back-to-back weeks. You beat Philly, you beat Kansas City on Thanksgiving. Then you just look terrible against Detroit and Minnesota. Like they made JJ McCarthy look like the second coming of, I don't know, like of something, because TJ, you know what I'm about to say here. Like we see people bash JJ McCarthy all the time. But you never hear anything when he's actually playing well. You know how that is. But 100%. Yeah. But then again, the Cowboys, they are the most unpredictable wild card in the National Football League because you truly just don't know what you're gonna get. But one thing I will say about Dallas is, when Dak Prescott is healthy, you see the difference. Like, I think he's having one of the best seasons of his career.
And truth be told, like that's the person, in my opinion, who doesn't. Oh, okay. I got it perfectly. Mm-hmm. He's the new version of Matthew Stafford.
Who? Dak?
Yes. He puts up a lot of numbers. It don't really equate to winning.
I don't hate that take. Like,
yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Like, it don't really equate to winning. He's in. I see the significant differences. Dallas way bigger than Detroit, so more eyes are on him. So on and so forth.
Not to mention the owner that he plays for.
Not to mention the owner that you play for. So, like, and Dak on 20 on maybe 25 other franchises would be that franchise's best QB ever. right now. So obviously he wouldn't be the best like Tom Brady in New England, Matthew Stafford in Detroit, Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, depending on the Packer fan. Peyton Manning with the Colts, right? That's 4. Drew Brees in New Orleans, that's 5. I legit and maybe Russ in Seattle. If you put Dak Prescott on those other 26 teams I just named, or I left out, Dak is their franchise, and Matt Ryan in Atlanta. I'm not going to respect Matt Ryan like that. He's their franchise's best quarterback ever, and Big Ben in Pittsburgh. So yeah, I was right, 7. So Dallas is like to David's point. You need Philly to lose their next 3 games, and you have to win. I don't see that. I just don't see that happening. Now, if you win this week, right? Like I think what Christian said about the Chargers, like, yeah, you just knocked out the team that's been whooping your ass the past 8 years. So like, if there's anybody if this is a trap game for anybody, it's 100% the Chargers. Like, that's the only way I see Dallas winning this one. They still riding that high from knocking out the Chiefs. But I'm still going with the Chargers. I don't trust Dallas. Your season's on the line, and your Matt Eberflus-led defense gets ate the fuck up by JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Like,
moving on from there, we have the former representative of the AFC in the Super Bowl last year, the Kansas City Chiefs, who were knocked out of the playoffs last weekend. Just want to give our thoughts, real quick prayers out to Patrick Mahomes. Hope he can make a speedy recovery. It's tough to see the face of the league go down in the way that he went down this season. I think, it would have been okay, if they didn't make the playoffs, but you hate to see him come down with an injury that now maybe might affect next season. Just tough. Then going into Tennessee, the Titans. I don't remember what they did last week. I'm assuming they lost. Chiefs, Titans.
They did to San Fran.
Thank you. Both these teams are coming off taking losses. Last time these two teams played was 3 years ago. Kansas City got the advantage, 20-17. Gardner Minshew. Minshew Mania is back in progress as he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. TJ.
Mm-hmm. Even with Gardner Minshew leading the way, you should beat the Titans.
I'm actually going to take the Titans to win this game.
I don't blame you for that, but at the same time,
because Patrick Mahomes was covering up a lot of inefficiencies of this Kansas City Chiefs team in general, especially on the offensive side. I mean, the offensive line hasn't been all that good this season. Jawan Taylor's been an absolute train wreck, basically since he got there, but especially last season or this season so far. Travis Kelce's definitely showing his age. The wide receiving core hasn't been that good. Dropping a ton of drops.
The conversation around the Chiefs is nothing about this game. Obviously,
the rest of the season for the Chiefs is irrelevant. You're just hoping you don't have any more injuries going down the stretch. Right. I mean, because you got to imagine Patrick Mahomes should be ready for the start of week 1. You just have to get through the rest of these 3 games and not have anybody else get injured.
So actually, like that's their focus. Like, they're talking about like what's next for the Chiefs on like every major sports network and TV talk show. Like they are paying zero attention to this game, and it's like, hey, they're like, Travis Kelce's probably going to retire at the end of the season. What's going to happen with Chris Jones?
That does make a lot of sense because you got a matchup between 2 teams not in the playoff hunt and not in the hunt for the first overall pick. I mean, these are relevant football teams when it comes down the stretch.
But Gardner Minshew should still go out there and win this game for the
I'm going to take the Titans. I think they get this one. Christian.
I'm with you, David. I'm taking Tennessee. I mean, yeah, I just don't want to side with TJ.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm going to deal with you after the show.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on from there, we're going to swing into the AFC. We're going to have 2 franchises that may be looking for new head coaches this offseason in the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. Both these teams are coming off taking L's last weekend. Miami basically didn't show up against Pittsburgh, and the Cincinnati Bengals got beat down by the Baltimore Ravens in a game where they didn't show up either. Last time these 2 teams played was 3 years ago, and the Bengals got the advantage, 27-15. It must have been cold weather because Miami doesn't play good in the cold weather. TJ, who wins this match? Doesn't matter.
I don't give a fuck about this game. I'm more talking. I'm more focused on the shit Mike McDaniel said today. What? Real quick, remind me, what's their record?
They're
Miami
6-8, I think.
6-8, and you go to Pittsburgh on a Monday night.
Well, they were
and
6-7 before that game last night, but
whatever. Um, and you go to Pittsburgh on a Monday night, and you get manhandled to an extent. I mean, the defense did. The defense showed up. Credit to them. They made it hard for a little minute there.
man, Jordan Brooks is just an absolute man child at the linebacker position, like for
Yeah,
real.
yeah. Like they was putting they was laying some wood at that. They was laying some wood at that. Then DK Metcalf said, "I'm a grown ass man," and then just took Minka Fitzpatrick and just moved him out the way. And David, if you haven't seen that play, I
I've seen
suggest
it.
you. Okay. Mike McDaniel comes out and says, "We're mulling a quarterback change." You're mulling it now? At this point?
I talked about during the recap. I just don't. Who are you going to play? What does it matter? What's it like? Both of you are not going to be there next season, anyways. Like, what are you trying to save? Your job? It's not happening.
Like you're mulling it now. I mean, and on the Chiefs side, on the Bengals side, they're gonna fuck around and Joe Burrow's gonna Andrew Luck them. Like I wholeheartedly see it. I'm 2-3 years down the line. I wholeheartedly see him saying like, yeah, I just can't take this anymore, and I'm done. I guess the more apropos comparison would be Carson Palmer, who actually said, I'd rather retire than play for y'all again. And he did. The Bengals should win this game. At this point, if you're both teams, like, do you even play the guys? Like, do you even play your main guys? Is it even worth it?
I mean, Joe Burrow said he wants to finish the season. I respect it, but at some point, the team has to be like, "Hey, yo, I appreciate that you want to continue to play, but we have like next season and like the seasons after that to worry about. Like, this season's over. Let's just pack it up and let Jake Browning or Joe Flacco handle the rest of the season."
Like that interception he threw to Kyle Van Noy, like Kyle Van Noy did the ultimate "I'm too old for this shit" play where he just handed the ball.
Yeah. He's like, "Here you go, young buck. You can take it. I'm good. I don't need this."
He's like, yeah. I'm too old for this shit. Like, here, hey, yeah. They ain't gonna catch you. They gonna catch me. You go. Give me the Bengals.
I'm also gonna take the Cincinnati Bengals, Christian.
See, when Burrow made his comment about being happy, I took that as he's not happy playing in Cincinnati.
There.
That's what I took that as. But I agree with TJ. Like, I could see him just pulling an Andrew Luck as well. To me, this is a coin flip. Like, wouldn't be surprised if Miami won it. Wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati won it.
Yeah.
TJ, who you took?
I took Cincy.
I'm gonna take Cincy, but I'm not confident in it.
I'm not confident in it at all.
I took Cincinnati. I don't feel good about it either. So I'm right there with you guys. Moving on from there, between an AFC and an NFC foe, both of them are going to miss the playoffs. We got the New York Jets going into New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints have just had a track record of just playing spoiler for the last couple weeks as they upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers in back-to-back weeks. This week they get the Jets, who are going anywhere fast, with Brady Cook still as the starting quarterback, I assume, after they got beat into a fine powder by the Jacksonville Jaguars this most recent weekend. I'm taking the Saints. TJ.
Yeah, 60 fantasy points is what Trevor Lawrence accounted for those who care. I know Christian doesn't. Yeah, this should. If you're the Saints and you lose this game, oh my God! Like, if you're the Saints and you lose this game, like you can't lose to Brady Cook. I never heard of Brady Cook before Sunday.
Neither have I.
Play for Missouri.
That says a hell of a lot.
In my league scoring format, Trevor Lawrence had 44.3 fantasy points.
Now ESPN fantasy, he had 60. So he accounted for what, 6 total touchdowns? He threw 5 and ran 1 in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they're getting the 60 from, but 44 is.
I just told you what fantasy
I'm
app I use.
I'm using ESPN, dude. I'm using ESPN, and I'm using the PPR one I use. So I don't know. Anyways, 60.
Top
I
performer,
mean, either way,
60.3.
either way,
Top
44 or
performer,
60 is still crazy
60.3.
numbers. Well,
Trayvon Henderson had
how many Kyle Pitts have?
48.6.
Yeah, so this is 45 point. I don't know. I'm not sure where you get this number. How are the numbers different? It don't matter. Christian, go ahead.
Come on, man. New Orleans all day. Come on, man.
Let's just move on. Moving on from there, let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings going into East Rutherford, New Jersey, taking on the New York Giants. The New York Giants coming off that loss to the Washington Commanders, and the Vikings with the surprising upset over the Dallas Cowboys. And this is 2 weeks in a row where we've seen good JJ McCarthy. Last time these two teams played, Christian, do you remember who won that game last year? Vikings, Giants.
Minnesota won that game. I remember it being I think it was week 1, if I'm not mistaken.
It was week 1. The Minnesota Vikings emerged victorious 28-6 on the route to what ended up being a playoff berth for the Minnesota Vikings. That's not happening in 2025. And Danny Dimes was still the quarterback of the New York Giants when they played each other last season. Christian, who do you got in this game? Vikings, Giants.
Give me Minnesota.
I'm also going to take the Minnesota Vikings, although I do think this game is going to be more high scoring than many people predict.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a pretty high scoring game. That's my honest opinion.
Okay.
I think Tyron Tracy is going to have a good game. I think JJ McCarthy has a good game, and I look for JJ McCarthy kind of finish the season kind of strong here at the end as he winds down the last few weeks. Give me the Vikings. TJ.
What's the status on Jackson Dart?
Hold on.
To be honest with you, TJ, I would sit him because he's playing a little too recklessly. Like you're not playing for anything. Like, nah, I would just take his helmet from him completely.
Like how many games has he played this season? He's been evaluated for 5 concussions already.
And he said he's not going to change up how he plays. Okay.
Jackson Dart is going to play. He's going to be fine.
Again, the Giants microcosm is that like the individual talent is there. Why they can't lump that into total team talent and success is beyond me. The age-old adage is this team when you have a team like that where the individual talent is awesome, but it doesn't equate to team success, is this team likes each other, they don't love each other. Right, so they not right now. It's just a team of I'm getting mine, you better get yours, like that type shit. Minnesota should win this game. Just off the cohesiveness that I just said, like it's the Giants secondary. I hope I'm anticipating this is the game where JJ and Jettis develop that necessary rapport because they shared a stat on the Sunday night game against the Cowboys where when he's targeting Justin Jefferson, I think he had like 10 targets, and I think of those targets 2 were interceptions. So it's like it's just not there between them two, and you can account a lot to that, like JJ McCarthy being out, all the other good stuff. Minnesota should win this game. I ain't gonna say going away. I'm kind of in agreement with David. Like, I think this is gonna be one of those great, terrible games where you get what I'm saying.
I agree with you on that. Yeah. I think this is one of those super entertaining games that it's just gonna be sloppy as hell. Like, there's gonna be turnovers everywhere. There might be 30 points. Each team's gonna have 30 points at the end of this game. But yeah, like one of those.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings.
Moving on from there, we have a crucial matchup in the NFC South that's going to go a long way to deciding who's going to win that division. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I think have lost 3 games in a row, going into Carolina, who fumbled a massive opportunity to take a major stranglehold on the division as they lost to New Orleans Saints, coming off their bye where they just beat the Los Angeles Rams before their bye. They come in, get beat by New Orleans at home, I think. Actually, I think they. Yeah,
I saw that
they
call you were talking about too. No, they were in New Orleans. So
yeah,
I think they were in New Orleans.
Yeah, that call was Bushley. Not good in my opinion. I think he still makes the kick regardless, but it's still, Anyways, this game is going to go a long way to deciding who plays the NFC South. A caveat, though, these teams do play one more time in the final week of the regular season. So this game, yes, it does matter, but the 1 in 2 weeks is even more important, in my opinion. Buccaneers, Panthers. Christian, talk to me about it.
Tampa's so due for one. I mean, they honestly let the last 2 games slip from their hands. And wasn't it back in September, the end of September, going into October, it looked like they were just running away with the AFC South. And like all these months and weeks later, look at where we are now. You're 7-7. You're tied with a team who wasn't even expected to win 7 games this year. I'm going to take Tampa, but I really wouldn't be surprised if Carolina came out and punched them in the mouth. But like you said, David, the 1 in a couple of weeks is a little bit more important than this one, because that could be for all the division marbles. But I like Tampa.
Tampa Bay has lost 6 of their last 8 games.
That's crazy.
They started the season at 5-1, and since being 5-1, they've lost 6 out of 8. And they've allowed Carolina to hang around, who started the season 0-2, started the season 3-1, and then have kind of gotten a little bit of a run here. And now they're kind of treading water over the last few weeks. You come off this huge victory against the Rams, and then you lose to the Saints. You get a huge victory against Green Bay, and then you lose to the New Orleans Saints. Like, every time that this team seems to build up some momentum, they seem to flounder. I'm going to take Tampa Bay, but I wouldn't be shocked even in the slightest if Carolina ends up winning this game, because they are at home. I think that the keep on pounding Carolina Panthers. I think Tyrell McMillan has a big game for him at the wide receiver position. Maybe he locks up Offensive Rookie of the Year in this performance, although nobody seems to really seem to win that award this year, because it's as wide open as I can ever remember. There hasn't been an absolute super dominant rookie this season where it's like, oh yeah, that guy's the Offensive Rookie of the Year. They all kind of just been just okay. It's going to make it interesting when fan voting when you get to that point. I'll take Tampa Bay, but I wouldn't be even remotely shocked, even in the slightest, if Carolina ended up pulling the rabbit out of the hat and gets this victory. TJ,
this shit's gonna end in a tie. More chaos, more madness. I'm here for it. It's gonna end in a tie. That's my what you call it? That's my pick.
That's a bold.
Looks like I'll be telling you what you don't know.
Mm-hmm. I know they're gonna end in the top, but it's gonna end in the top.
Yeah, but nah, I just like telling you what you don't know.
Moving over into the late afternoon window, and this game should have been flexed to Sunday Night Football. Makes me upset that it's not. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars fresh off beating the bricks off the New York Jets, going into Mile High, taking on the 12-2 Broncos, a team that's won 11 straight games, fresh off beating the Green Bay Packers, a game they had to come back and win. God bless Bo Nix. Last time these two teams played was actually 3 years ago. Denver got the advantage, 21-17. We had Russell Wilson and Trevor Lawrence going head-to-head. This time in 2025, we got Bo Nix and Trevor Lawrence has played extremely well over the last couple weeks, going head-to-head. Denver, Jaguars. Christian, is it coming?
David, let's wrap this thing up.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 3,
baby. Yeah. Jacksonville runs the football. Like that makes the difference. And really, with both these teams, this was the best I've seen both quarterbacks look since they became actual NFL quarterbacks. Like Trevor Lawrence was in such control of that game, and Bo Nix threw the 4 touchdowns. And Jacksonville also plays defense. They're physical. I think this is going to be kind of like that 21-17 score, like you just mentioned from a couple of years ago. Denver is just absolutely, they're rolling right now. What are they? 12-2. I think this is 12 straight wins. I mean, 10 straight wins.
11.
If 11, yeah, 11. I think this is 11 straight wins. The last time Denver lost a game was week 3 of this season against, I think it was against the Chargers in at SoFi. This is gonna be a fun one. I preview this one tomorrow. Be on the lookout.
TJ, talk to me.
11 straight wins. I think that streak ends at 11. Yeah. I think, and what's crazy is we're finally seeing, okay, 2 things. Liam Cohen is already like tied for like top 5 or whatever, and like it's some crazy win total that he has. Like he's already matched like Gus Bradley's win total, and Gus Bradley was there for I don't know how many years in Jacksonville, and like Liam Cohen's like, yeah, watch me go to work, and this is the Trevor Lawrence that we've been waiting on. Like, this is the Trevor Lawrence that was supposed to be the face of the league. This is the Trevor Lawrence that they threw the gold jacket on when all of them years ago. Yeah, woo, woo. Trevor Lawrence has to go into Denver and put on a show. Because right now outside of a few games, the Broncos really have been winning in spite of Bo Nix's mediocre play. Mediocre is just like with Philly, like it's mediocre play is easily overlooked when you're winning, right? And they won 11 in a row. Like they were down, what was it, 24-13?
Yeah. To
Green Bay.
They were down by at least 9 or 10 points,
something like that. And like just like with Buffalo, Denver, you can't keep waiting to flip that switch. This is the same Denver team that was at one point in time down 30 to the Giants. Like the fact they came back and won that game still, like you still baffles the fuck out of everybody. Give me Jacksonville. I'm taking Jacksonville.
I'm also going with the Jaguars. Duval County. I think they get the upset here. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are playing really solid football. They're balanced. They're running the football. Trevor Lawrence, as TJ mentioned, he's looking at all of what the hype that was around him when he was first drafted. And this defense is super underrated. Devin Lloyd, arguably having one of the better linebacker seasons in the NFL so far this year. It's been an underrated unit. You know, Josh Hines Allen getting pressure on the quarterback. I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. Moving on from there, another matchup between 2 franchises probably looking for new head coaches in the offseason, as I imagine Raheem Morris of the Atlanta Falcons and Jonathan Gannon of the Arizona Cardinals will be looking for new jobs when this season it finally runs its course. The Falcons, although they did get the upset victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Arizona Cardinals got beat by somebody last weekend. I just don't remember. The Texans. Sorry, they got hung up 40 points by the Houston Texans. Last time these 2 teams played 2 years ago, and the Arizona Cardinals got the victory 25-23. TJ, who gets this victory in 2025?
Does anybody want to win this game?
If anything, this is one that could end in a tie.
You are not wrong at all. Just to be fair, like I don't think Raheem Morris is going to be looking for a new job. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if he is. I'm just saying.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think he's out. I think he's done.
Think he's out? Man, that's tough. I'm going with the Falcons just off GP. Just off GP. Give me the Falcons.
Christian.
Yeah, give me Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm off of the Atlanta Falcon hype wagon, the bandwagon. I'm gonna take the Arizona Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett be slinging that rock. Michael Wilson be catching that rock. I think the battle of the birds is gonna go to the Arizona Cardinals. Moving on from there, we got one team in deep into the playoff hunt and another team battling for their playoff lives. And we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going into Ford Field, taking on the Detroit Lions. Pittsburgh obviously beat the Miami Dolphins last night on Monday Night Football. Detroit lost to the Rams in a game that definitely hindered their playoff abilities. They essentially need to win out, and they need some help in order to make it into the playoffs, either as a wild card or as the representative of the NFC North, even though that's a tall task. Detroit Steelers. Last time these two teams played was actually 4 years ago, and this game, ironically enough, ended in a tie, 16-16, 4 years ago. I don't think that'll happen this year. I'm going to take a mini upset here. I think the Detroit Lions keep things rolling, or at least get things rolling again after that dominant performance against Dallas. You come against the Rams, and you just don't play well in that game. I mean, your defense looked like a shell of its former self. I'll take Detroit. I think they get back on the schneid. I think they keep their playoff hopes alive against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Christian, go ahead.
Can the Steelers keep this up? Because, like I said at the top of the show, this was probably their most complete game as a team this year. They ran the football. Can they keep that going? The Lions. Has Laporta come back yet?
No.
Wow. I thought he'd be back by now. Man, this is one of those games where, again, it could go either way. Like, it really could. I look at the Lions, and their defense isn't as strong as what it was, and they're missing Brian Branch. Like, he was there. I think, to me, he's their most important player. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson is their best player, but nah.
Well, Brian Branch isn't walking back through that door this year.
No, he's not walking through that door. Wow. I'm really torn on this one. Like, I really am. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. I just think Aaron Rodgers, he knows Ford Field, playing against these Lions all those years. He was a Packer. I think they want to keep this thing moving. Yeah, I like Pittsburgh.
TJ.
For the sake of their playoff future, the Lions have to win this game, right?
Yeah.
They got to win.
I'm pretty sure if they lose, they're eliminated.
Yeah, if they lose, they're done. So like I said, if the Bears win Saturday and the Lions lose, Bears clinch the division, and I think Detroit's done.
I think if Detroit loses, no matter what, I think they're out no matter what.
Yeah,
I don't think they can make the playoffs if they lose this game. Period. Regardless of what happens anywhere else.
Damn, dude. Don't they both got about the same record, minus a game or two?
Yeah, they have the same exact record.
What is it,
They're both literally 8-6. Like, one team is atop of their respective division, the other team is in third.
You know what? I'm actually switched it. I'm gonna take the Lions because the Lions do play tough at home.
I'm gonna take the Lions at home.
I'm gonna take the Lions
at home. So like, how you feel about I think like the true X factor here, obviously for the Lions, is Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, if he gets it going early, then it's pretty. I don't think they have anybody on that.
The office.
It's gonna be a long day at the office. I don't think they have anybody on that defense that can do anything with him. Like, who the hell do you put on Jahmyr Gibbs in any scenario?
I mean, imagine you gotta have. I mean,
I don't.
Green, I guess.
I don't know. I don't think they have anybody that can tackle him one-on-one in open space. Like, if Jahmyr Gibbs and Patrick Queen meet in open field, you really think?
No.
Really
I was just throwing a name out there.
Don't disrespect Patrick Queen.
He has had a fantastic season.
I said what I said.
There's more so respect than what the hell Jahmyr Gibbs. And then let's say you line Jahmyr Gibbs up in the slot. What DB do you have that's going to cover him? That's fast enough to cover him. You're not putting Jalen Ramsey on Jahmyr Gibbs.
They don't have anybody else, so
that's gonna be
that's
the
their only
like
option.
Jameer Gibbs could literally have a 100 day on Sunday. 100 yards, 100 plus yards rushing, 100 plus yards receiving. Like I could wholeheartedly see that happening.
Moving on from. Did you pick the?
I picked the Lions.
Okay, moving on from there. The final game of the late afternoon window. I'm sure this will be a real short conversation. Las Vegas welcoming in the Houston, going into NRG Bank Stadium. They're the home of the Houston Texans. Texans obviously coming off that victory against the Arizona Cardinals. The Raiders got manhandled by the Philadelphia Eagles. Last time these two teams played, the Las Vegas Raiders hooked up 38 points on the Houston Texans as they won 3 years ago. No chance in hell that happens this year. Give me the Houston Texans. Christian. TJ.
So Patriots Ravens on Sunday night.
Moving on to Sunday night football, we have the Baltimore Ravens welcoming in the New England Patriots into their house in Baltimore. Obviously, the Patriots coming off that loss to the Buffalo Bills, and the Ravens getting a very important victory against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a franchise that's met 4 times in the playoffs over the course of their respective history, with the Ravens winning 3 of those matchups. But the last time these two teams played was 3 years ago, and the Ravens also got that victory, 37-26. But these are very different teams, and these are very different squads. This is 3 years later, and Lamar Jackson, Mac Jones were the quarterbacks for these teams. 3 years later, Christian, who do you got? Ravens, Patriots.
I'm gonna take
Baltimore.
I'm gonna take Baltimore. I just think this is gonna be one of the more physical defenses that New England will have played. I think they'll establish Derrick Henry because I think Buffalo kind of exploited a slight weakness in New England's defense, struggling to stop the run. Buffalo established James Cook, and New England had a tough time keeping up with him, trying to bring him down, limiting his big playmaking ability. And okay, you can't limit James Cook. What you gonna do against Derrick Henry? I'm gonna take Baltimore in a mini upset.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Baltimore as well. They're at home. I think they've been playing pretty well outside of that game against the Steelers last weekend. I think before that they won 4 straight, 5 out of the last 6. I'll take Baltimore, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if New England ends up getting the victory here. I still feel like they're a better football team than the Baltimore Ravens are right now. But give me Baltimore. TJ.
So the fact that this is tougher than what it should be. Again, Baltimore, who knows what your season would be if everybody is healthy, right? The entire time. Like Lamar don't miss time, Kyle Van Noy don't miss time. What's his name? Kyle Hamilton. Yeah, Kyle Hamilton. Like if you have everybody from week 1 till now, who fucking knows what you are, right? Who even knows if you're quote unquote like if you haven't even clinched a spot by now? But that's not the world we live in. We live in a world where all those dudes got hurt, missed time, and came back. And New England is I ain't gonna say they're reeling, but they got shell shocked. Twitter was hilarious on Sunday, David. That first half was, Patriot fans were.
They were probably talking with their chest.
Wasn't they, Christian? Them chests was full of L, wasn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Them chests was full of L, boy. And it's like then all of a sudden that game it got closer and closer and closer, and that stadium went from loud and raucous to
quiet as a cat.
Quiet
as a church mouse.
Quiet. And I'm gonna take the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson makes a play that Drake May doesn't. And Drake May, I'm sorry, buddy, but say goodbye to that MVP. Like you lost that on Sunday. Yeah. You lost that. Like it sucks, but that's what happened. You lost that MVP on Sunday.
Moving from there to Monday Night Football, we have Brock Purdy versus Phillip Rivers as the San Francisco 49ers go into the house that Peyton Manning built and taking on the Indianapolis Colts. 49ers obviously came off beating Tennessee Titans on Sunday, and the Colts lost to the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday as well. And just for fun, when was the last time the San Francisco 49ers beat the Indianapolis Colts?
Was it in the 90s?
It was not in the 90s, but it was damn close.
The 80s?
Not in the 80s. The last time the San Francisco 49ers beat the Indianapolis Colts was in 2001. The Colts have won the last 5 matchups between these two franchises. The last time these two teams played was actually 4 years ago. Indianapolis Colts got that victory as well. In 2001, just for fun, the score of this game was 40-21 San Francisco on a route to 8-2 in that season. I think this is like early Peyton Manning. Like this might be, they were still playing the RCA Dome. So like Peyton Manning hadn't even built a house yet there. Can you name the starting quarterbacks for these two franchises in 2001? I think the Colts one is easy. The Niners one I think is tough.
Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, all right, man. All right, maybe not. Jeff Garcia, Peyton Manning. Can you name the starting running backs for both teams?
I'm gonna say Edgerrin James for Indy.
Not Edgerrin James. A little bit too early.
Marshall Faulk.
It was not Marshall Faulk. He was already.
What Marshall Faulk?
You're never going to get the running back for the Colts. It's Dominic Rhodes had 27 carries.
Damn it, that was about to be my next. That was about to be my next one. And then I'm gonna say for San Francisco, was it Garrison Hurst?
Garrison Hurst, 12 carries for 106 yards, good for 8.83 per clip, 2 touchdowns in this game, and the starting wide receiver for both of these two teams.
Marvin Harrison and T.O. Come on now.
Yeah, all right, let's go. So let's fast forward back from 2001. Let's fast forward 24 years. Let's talk about 2025. Christian, who gets the victory here? Niners, Colts.
Yo, TJ, we got a new Uncle Phil.
Grandpa Phil. What are you talking about, Grandpa Phil?
Yeah. Nah, you're not wrong. He is a grandfather. That's crazy. Nah, man, just big ups to Phillip Rivers for coming back. And
man, you know what else is crazy? So like, because of like he like after you retire, you get five years of like full coverage insurance. And since he decided to come back, like right before that shit was about to expire, he's gonna have 5 more years after this season's over. He's gonna get 5 more years of insurance benefits.
That's a bigger problem that we will have to talk about on an entirely different show.
Yeah. Like the NFL should be taking care of people for like their entire rest of their lives.
Yeah, like don't get me started on that bullshit though.
Phil Rivers be fleecing the system for real. He's got 12 kids, and like the NFL's just got to take care of them for
a grandkid.
And a grandkid, yeah.
I'm gonna take San Francisco.
Yeah. I'm also taking the San Francisco 49ers as well. I just think the Colts, I think the season that they had all the promise is going to go straight into the toilet.
I like how the Colts responded to that Seahawks game, because I hate when players say, "Oh, I don't pay attention to outside noise." Yes, the fuck you do. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You see it, you hear it, you read it. It's everywhere. Like your circle talks about it, whatever. So for a week, all they heard was Phillip Rivers was going to go out there and get killed by this Seahawks defense. He got hit 4 times. First game in 5 years, you only touched him 4 times. So Quentin Nelson and that crew said, "All right, we're going to take this shit personal because y'all thinking him getting killed means we ain't going to be able to do our goddamn job." There's no reason why that conversation should stop this week. If you thought Seattle's defense was going to do some damage, there's no reason to think why you don't San Fran's defense is going to do some damage. So Quentin Nelson and the crew got to do it again. The Niners should win, just like how Seattle won. I think Seattle is they breathing easy right now because that Colts defense made their life a living hell. Your only points was 6 field goals.
Yeah.
The way JSN been flying up and down the field on folks. Come on now. The Niners should win. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if the first game Phillip Rivers wins in 5 years is against the San Francisco 49ers, and that's going to be a Jeopardy trivia question one day.
But yeah, thank you very much. I didn't update this graphic. I hate when stuff like that happens. Thank you very much for joining us. Week 15 Monday Night Football recap, and we gave you our Week 16 preview. Thank you very much for riding with us for the entire NFL season here at Prime Sports World. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm David On Point Helping, joined by my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins, and from the belated birthday boy, Mr. Christian Simpson from the Daily Blitz Stop blog. Gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime Sports World, my friends?
We bring the heat, and if I wish I could show y'all, like, I still could, ain't nothing but just a picture. In my parking lot outside, it's just a sheet of ice
Couldn't have happened to a nice individual.
that goes from the garbage can all the way out to the driveway. And with the heat wave that we got coming up, and by heat wave I mean 40 degrees, that's gonna be so perfect.
It's gonna be shorts weather. Shorts weather. Let's go.
Yo, TJ, if I DoorDash you something, you gonna go out and go get it?
Oh, what you call it, the sidewalk and stuff is clear.
Nah, I'm gonna tell him to drop it off like in the middle of the street. Like, yeah, so you go and get it.
You do realize I have to walk to my car, right? Like, so it's not as bad as you think it is.
Anyways, thank you very much for joining us. We're Prime Sports World. I'll be back here tomorrow giving you guys some fantasy football information. Get your lineup set for those fantasy football playoffs. Y'all take care and stay safe out there. Gentlemen, you have a good night.
See you, man.